This segment of Delmarva Life is brought to you by the Cape May Lewis Ferry.
Well, what's the first thing that comes to mind when you hear the name Rocky? Maybe a movie about a famous boxer or the song about a tiger. Well, both of those ideas are encapsulated into one of the most famous faces here at the Cape May County Zoo. When visiting Cape May, nothing says family fun quite like the zoo.
There's always something new at the zoo.
Mike Laffey is the parks director at the Cape May County Park and Zoo, which is celebrating a big year.
The zoo itself, the Cape May County Park Zoo, has been 35 years in the making. This year is our 35th anniversary, and the zoo itself is 87 acres inside of a 230-acre park.
Mike and I made our way through the grounds, meeting some of the animals that call this place home. And there are a lot of them. Our first stop was the petting zoo. This is where anyone can get up close and personal with several of the animals.
The petting zoo, we renovated this year. We almost tripled the size of it and increased the collection there. We have several goats and pigs, and we brought a new cow in this year too, which is a huge hit. It's a benefit because kids can get there and interact with the animals and feed the animals, and it seems to be such a highlight because it's one of the areas where kids get to touch some of the animals here.
There's also the aviary. This is also one of those places where you need to keep your head up and pay attention.
The aviary was it's probably a good 15, 16 years old. It was built some time ago, and it's a free-flighted aviary. There's probably about 20 different species of birds that fly around in there. You can walk through a boardwalk and birds would just whiz right past your head in there.
Not far from all the birds, you will find the zoo's most famous resident, Rocky. He's one big cat that's magnificent to look at.
He has a great personality. I can chuff and he'll come over to the fence when I walk by. Most of the people that come here, they're locals, love him. The visitors that come, they come back from year to year. Rocky's 13 years old, so he's an amazing cat, 500 pounds, and he's a Siberian tiger. So probably the best time to come to see him is in the spring and the fall because the weather's a little cooler. In the hot weather, he's inside a lot because his den is a little bit air conditioned. We raised him here as a cub. Dr. Pollock, the zoo director and head veterinarian, actually raised him as a cub, so he's extremely friendly with the public.
Of course, you can't have a tiger without a lion. There's one of those at the zoo, as well as lemurs and Chinese alligators, which are the rarest and most endangered alligators in the world. And then there's everyone's favorite, the giraffes. You will find 4 of them inside the Savannah exhibit with several other animals.
We have 57 acres out here for them to roam. We have giraffe, bongo, oryx, crown crane, watusi, zebra, and ostrich, and it looks like they're in the same exhibit, but there's actually 3 separate areas here that are kind of divided by moats and fence that you can't see.
Mike gave us a behind-the-scenes look at the giraffes. We got to watch as he fed them some of the foliage from nearby trees.
They have very long tongues.
Yeah, they do. And their tongues are blue because so they don't get sunburned because they spend so much time browsing in the sunshine.
Because of the zoo's location, it attracts people from all over the area, like the Ionico family from Pennsylvania.
We came out because it's close. We're staying locally in Cape May, and it was a nice family thing to do. It's the first time my brother, my sister, and I are together with my family, and we wanted a nice little trip.
And her 2 boys, Anthony and Trevor, had their zoo favorites.
The yellow snake.
Why?
Because it was big. The monkeys.
I think it's a great day trip to the Cape May County Park and Zoo. Not only can you visit in a world-class accredited zoo, we have picnic shelters where you can come and barbecue for the day. We have a disc golf course, we have basketball courts, we have several ponds where you could fish here. We have hiking trails that abut other hiking trails of other municipalities around here. We have a bike path that goes several miles throughout this county.
The Cape May County Zoo also prides itself on being AZA certified, which Mike says is one of the biggest conservation movements in North America.
The AZA is the Association of Zoos and Aquariums. We've been accredited since 1989. There's only 10% of zoos and aquariums in North America that receive that accreditation, and we're one of those. It's important because people that come here can trust that the level of animal care is of superb excellence. The husbandry, the way we fund the place, and every aspect of the operation is top of the line.
Mike says the zoo also makes it a point to add new exhibits.
Every year we do something different here, but our Zoological Society, they raise money for us, and one of the things we're going to do before next season is build a brand new snow leopard exhibit that's going to be funded entirely by our Zoological Society, because we have been very successful in snow leopard breeding. There's probably 6 zoos in North America that breed snow leopards. We're one of those.
It's that care and commitment to the animals that keeps people coming back.
And the zoo is open every day, year-round, and the best part is, it's free.
Still ahead on Delmarva Life, Cape May Lewis Ferry Edition. You can't go on a day trip without experiencing the local cuisine. Jimmy gets a tasty burger recipe you'll want to try at your next barbecue. Delmarva Life will be right back.